In this video, we'll demonstrate how to add the Site Integrators WebHDFS Task to an existing SSIS package to load a file into Hadoop HDFS. To begin with, we'll drag and drop a WebHDFS task onto the control flow workspace of our SSIS package. Let's double-click that task to edit that task. The first thing we want to look at is the operation property or parameter. When selecting that, you will see a list of all of the available HDFS commands that are available for this particular task. For this demonstration, we will be uploading a file within HDFS. Before we do that, we need to create a directory within HDFS to store our file. So to start with, we will select Make Directories. Next, we need to specify our web HDFS gateway host name. This could be a host name or IP address. We could type the host name or IP address within the host field, but we also have the option of using a variable. And since we like using variable, let's create a variable. So let's go to the variable section of our SSIS package, and we'll create a new variable. We'll call this variable HDFS host. We'll make that a string. And now for the value, we will add our web HDFS gateway host name there. Now let's go back to our task to add that variable. To use that variable, we need to set isHostVariable to true. Then for host variable, select our newly created variable. The next thing we need to do is specify our web HDFS gateway port number. For our Hadoop instance, the port number is 50,070. In regard to the host name and port number for your Hadoop cluster, please consult your Hadoop administrator to figure out what these values should be. And for permissions, this will be the permission level of your folder when it's created within HDFS. So we'll leave that as the default. Username. The username you must specify here must be a user that has permission to create a folder within HDFS. For this demonstration, we'll just use Yarn. For the remote path, this must be the path to the folder that you wish to create within HDFS. Once again, we have the option of using a variable, so let's do that. So let's create a variable. So we'll go back to our variable section of our SSIS package, and we will create a new variable. We'll call this variable Hadoop HDFS remote path. We'll make that a string. And we'll also construct this variable using the expression section of this variable. So let's type in data consumer and this would be our path to our file within HDFS. But what I'm going to do is add the year, month, and date to our path. And the reason for this is that once we load our file into Hadoop, and once we create our hive schema, we want to partition that data by year, month, date. So let's do OK. So let's go back to our task. We'll set is remote path to true, and we'll select our newly created task, or excuse me, variable. Now this task only creates our directory within HDFS. We need another task to actually upload the file to HDFS. So let's drag another task onto the workspace of our SSIS package, and let's connect these two. Let's do this as well. So let's edit this task, and the first thing we want to look at here is we want to create a file within HDFS. So we select the create operation, and since we already have a variable defined for host, we'll use that variable here. So we'll set is host variable to true and select our host variable. We'll leave the port number as the default. Since this package already has a local variable created for the file that sits on our local server, we'll use that variable for our local path. So we'll set is local path to true, is local path variable to true, and we'll select the local full path variable. Additional parameters that you can set when creating your file within HDFS. We have the overwrite flag. You will set this to true if you wish to overwrite an existing file within HDFS. In permissions, this will be the permission level that you wish the newly created file within HDFS to have. So we'll leave that as the default. Replication. This is the number of replicas you wish to create within HDFS of your file. So we'll leave that as 3. And once again, the username is a user that has permission to create a file within HDFS. For this demonstration, we'll use yarn. Now for this task, the remote path is similar to the remote path variable that we created when we created the directory. However, the only difference is that we have to add the file name. So the remote path here must include the directory within HDFS as well as the file name. So let's create a new variable for this remote path. So let's go to our variable section of our SSIS package. Let's create a new variable. We'll call this variable HDFS remote full path. We'll set that to a string, and we'll construct this variable using an expression, and we'll use the HDFS remote path and the local file name variable. So we'll select remote path, HDFS remote path, and we'll concatenate those two variables. Okay. This will be the full path to our file within HDFS. Okay. Now let's go back to our task. We'll set is remote path variable to true. We'll select our newly created variable and we'll do OK. Let's save our SSIS package. Now let's execute our SSIS package. Okay, our package executed successfully. Let's verify that the file was created within HDFS. So let's go to Hue and we'll go to Data, Consumer, Year, Month, Date, and there's our file. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice day.